Alright everyone, good morning. Welcome to my first Diablo 2 video. Today I'm going to be presenting a guide and gameplay on the Auradin. I've looked around the internet for quite some time for a good Auradin build, so I don't have to do this video, but I could not find one. Auradin, this build in particular, is something that I had to dig up and do some theory crafting and some theory building on, but it is more than capable of handling 8-player hell, and because we're a melee character, we are often overlooked in terms of the leveling game because our clear speed isn't as fast as, let's say, a Hammerden or a lightning source or even a blizzard source clears things pretty quick because there are a lot of immunes, and physical and melee characters have big repair bills. But we are going to be using a Grief Phase Blade, which completely negates that repair bill, so we are freely able to attack. I'll be going over the gear and the skills, and I will be showing you some gameplay. So, as you can see, I am on the US West server, and I have 6 of my alts in here, including myself, so that's 7-player hell, and it is more than capable of handling 7-player hell. This build basically focuses on stacking 2 dreams and maxing out Holy Freeze for cold damage. So let's go over the skills. We will be maxing out the synergies, the defensive auras, resist cold for our Holy Freeze. This gives us more cold damage on our attack and more Holy Freeze damage in general when it pulsates. Resist Lightning synergizes with the 2 dreams that we will be using. Salvation is additional damage for both our Holy Freeze and Holy Shock. Our offensive auras, we are going to be focusing on Holy Freeze. So we are going to be maxing out 20 points into Holy Freeze. So you can see that provides a lot of cold damage to our attack. It's also great because there are very few enemies in this game that are immune to Holy Freeze, and they will be slowed by 57%. Our combat skills, this tree it's very subjective to opinion. I alternate points between Zeal, Sacrifice, and Holy Shield. The Holy Shield is probably the least important thing. You probably only just need 1 point. If you can somehow find a scepter, a call to arms, a 5-socket war scepter with plus something to Holy Shield, you don't even need to put anything into Holy Shield. So unfortunately, until I find one and respec, that is 5 points additional that I can put into Zeal or Sacrifice for more damage. We're going to be using Zeal as our main offensive dervish, and Charge to isolate enemies, and used in PvP to isolate specific targets. So those are the skills. Once again, 20, 20, 20, 20, and whatever you want here. It's completely up to you. Probably try to max out Zeal or Sacrifice towards the end. Okay, let's take a look at the gear. We're going to be using 2 dreams. We have the Dream Tiara. We're using this mainly for the Holy Shock, but the faster hit recovery is also really nice. The Dream Vortex Shield. This came with a 45 resistance additional modifier. I only got 63 resistances on this one, so it's far from perfect, but it's okay. We have a High Lords for the increased attack speed, deadly strike, and lightning resistance is also nice. You have 2 options here. I use a Chains of Honor for the +2 to all skills. This is great for additional damage for the synergies, the life per hit, the 20 to strength, and huge all resistance and damage reduction. Now, can you wear a Fortitude? Yes, but your damage will not be increasing by that much, because this is, even though it's a melee build and it has a little bit of physical damage, we're not a pure physical damage build, so your damage will not be increasing by that much. So I stick with Chains of Honor for Also, the 200 damage to demons and 100% additional damage to the undead is amazing. So I stick with the Chains of Honor over a Fortitude for that particular reason. The weapon, there is no doubt about it, it's a Grief Phase Blade. As you can see, there is no durability requirement on this blade. It rolled with a 40% increased attack speed, however, only 367 damage, which is 23 points off of perfect. That's perfectly fine. I'm happy with this face blade. It attacks really quick, even without Fanaticism Aura from your Mercenary. Grief Phase Blade all the way. Berserker Axe is just too slow. Unless you can get yourself a Faith Mercenary, you'll also be missing out on the lower defense and lower resistance if you decide to take that route. Gloves. For PvP, I would use blood-crafted gloves. For PVM, we use this Lane of Hands for the 20 increased attack speed, additional damage to demons, and that sexy fire resistance. It's great. Rings. Ravenfrost is a mandatory must for all melee characters. The other ring is completely up to you. You can either go with another Ravenfrost or a BK. I chose a BK on my right finger for the life stolen and +1 to all skills. That helps boost my battle orders. Belt. Again, two choices. You have String of Ears. Upped is really nice. I went with a Verdungo's. This was almost perfect. Damage 15 is perfect. +40 to Vitality is perfect. I was 1 point off. That's okay. Gore Riders. If you can't get your hands on Gore Riders, Sandstorm Tracks are your next best bet for the strength and poison resistance. Charms. You want 9 offensive aura skillers, plus whatever mods you want. I was able to get these really easily. Just trade them for high runes because there are not a lot of Auradins on Battle.net, on US West at least, so I was able to get these. Small charms. I have life and all res. These are far from perfect. They're only +3. Again, these were very easy to obtain because they're only +3. Annie and Torch are mandatory as usual. Stats, just enough for strength for your switch. Dexterity, just enough to equip your grief. The rest in vitality do not touch energy. And you can see my resistances are completely maxed. Now, is this character able to do Ubers? Oh yes. When you put on your Chains of Honor, oops, and you pre-buff with a Last Wish, even with Mephisto's Conviction, my lightning resistance is still 85%. So Ubers is an absolute joke with this character. It pretty much, it just takes a while to kill, because as you can see, my Zeal attack rating is not very high. My damage is really high, but my attack rating is kind of low, so I don't have a lot of chance to hit. Let's get some gameplay going. I'll show you what this build can do. Let's go.
I can't carry it. I am overloaded.
Not even death can save you from me.
Every day I pray for you to the sky because you are neon jack. I wait for you stay.
Alright, so as you can see, it clears out 7-player Hell Chaos very easily with absolutely no problems whatsoever. It is also capable of running Baal. It just takes a little while to get there because there are enemies obstructing your path. Sometimes you can get lucky and find the next level really quickly, but that's basically the build. The build is very expensive. If you can get your hands on the 2 Dreams and the Grief Phaseblade, that takes a lot of the work out of doing things. The rest of it is just skilling yourself up, small charming, and the rest of the basic things. Since Chains of Honor is non-ladder, it's dirt cheap. The rest of the gear can be found in any realm on any level of platforming, ladder, non-ladder, but these 3 here, the 2 Dreams and the Grief Phaseblade, are going to be kind of difficult. So there are millions of spirits out there as well, because they are so easy to make. The runes are very low runes, and 4-socket monarchs are easy to find. And that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This build is more than capable of doing well in PvP and PVM, though I stay away from PvP with this build because of the Holy Freeze. It's considered to be bad-mannered to do this, and players don't like that. So I try to keep myself away from being bad-mannered, so I don't PvP very often unless one of my friends says, "Oh, Kevin, this guy is NKing me, come in and take care of him." Then I'll bring in my barb and this guy pre-buff with my barb and go take care of that player with this character. It does so much damage, and unless they are extremely stacked on cold resistance and damage reduction, the charge alone will probably 2-shot. Just 2 charges will wipe out a lot of characters. Amazon's sources get 1-shot sometimes. If it's a deadly strike, it just drops them. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys did, just leave a comment below, or if there's any feedback that you have or any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. Just keep on playing Diablo 2 and supporting Diablo 2. It's the best MMO I've ever played. I've been playing Diablo 2 for over 15 years now, and I'm still in the process of transferring all of my things to my characters, because Blizzard recently converted your account to have 16 characters. So I have so many mules. I have to transfer all of my things. So I'm currently in the process of doing that, and hopefully I can get 8-player Hell on one account instead of having to keep switching between accounts, because that can be a pain in the rear sometimes. But I'll get that going. But I hope you guys have a great day, and once again, if you have any questions or any feedback regarding this build, please leave a comment in the section below, and I'll get back to you guys later. Have a great day.